Hey guys, I am glad that you have stopped by the channel today. Today we are going to be talking about an older project that I did many years ago. And I just want to walk you guys through some of the lessons that I learned while doing that project, especially people. I guess this video is especially for people who are planning on releasing children's books. Okay, there is definitely a process that goes into doing this, and I learned a lot, especially with this project here called We Don't Look Alike. All right. So I want to say that first, you need to make sure you have a solid idea in place before even trying to write a book, okay? And I say that because when I dived into this book here, I had sort of a basic understanding of what I wanted to write about, but I didn't have the idea completely hashed out, which caused me to have to do like I want to say 8 to 9 different rewrites on this children's book here, which is crazy for a children's book. But every time that I would get deeper and deeper into the plot and the storyline, there would be something that I didn't like, and that's because I did not outline for this particular project. I am the type of writer that just likes to dive in and see where the story takes me. I think they call that a pantser. That is my style of writing. But if you don't have a clear understanding of the topic that you want to write about or the storyline, I recommend that you actually put together some type of outline, even if it's basic, some type of outline to kind of guide you along the way when you are writing the project. Okay, so that is tip number one. That is something that I definitely wish I did with this project. Tip number two is plan how you want to execute the project, not just writing, but with illustrations. Who's going to illustrate your book? With marketing, who is going to market your book, or are you marketing your book? How are you going to market your book? And with publishing, are you planning on self-publishing? Are you planning on trying to go the traditional publishing route? Because once I was done with this project, I was just like, what now? Because I didn't think all of that through, right? This was technically my second project, but I had that excitement bug, right? And when you get that excitement bug about releasing something, you don't necessarily walk through all the steps that are needed to make that project successful, okay? We can't just be writers. We also have to be business-minded people. We also have to have plans in place. So with that being said, I found myself having to sit down after I was done with the book. I had to put together some type of plan. I knew that I wanted it in a bookstore here called I think it's Schuler's. I wanted it there, so I had to plan on how to get it in that bookstore, which I was successful in doing so, and I was so excited about that. I set up a meeting and everything with one location, and I was able to get it on the shelves at that location. That was like a huge day for me. I didn't even care if it was just one location. Just walking in that store and seeing my book on the shelf was crazy. So if that's something you want to do, have a plan in place for that. Also, I got invited to do speaking engagements at, different schools. Even a couple colleges invited me to speak to, I guess, college students that were involved in education, okay, or lower ed, because this book is geared towards kids that are younger. So that was huge because during those speaking engagements or before those speaking engagements, there would be the person who was hosting the event, they would buy multiple copies, which helped me out a ton, okay? So think about that. Think about how you're going to, market your book or get your book out there and make sales, because it's also your job as a writer. If you want to try to be a successful writer, how are you going to sell your books? How are you going to sell your products, right? If nobody knows about you, you can't just expect to put your book up on Amazon or just on your website and say, hey guys, go get my book, because it doesn't work like that. People have to know who you are. They have to know your brand. So you have to constantly market. Just because it's up on Amazon, there are thousands of books on Amazon, and yours can easily get looked over if people do not know anything about it. So you have to create sort of, I guess, a hype, a buzz around your book, to let people know about it. So that's what I did. I went to different speaking engagements at schools. I went to adoption agencies. I went to different events that involved children for the age groups that this book was geared towards. I went to those events and I read the book. So you have to think outside the box, okay? So that's why I say it's better to put together that plan before you get to the point of having to do it, because then everything will flow so much better. All right, so don't wait to the last minute like me and try to put together that plan, okay? And then you have to make the decision on whether or not you're going to self-publish or you're going to try to go the traditional publishing route, okay? And just know that those are two very different routes, okay? I have always self-published, but I do have friends that have gone the traditional publishing route. I know a couple people that have agents that were able to land some book deals, and there are pros and cons to both of those. With self-publishing, I feel like I have more control over my projects. I get to decide on the cover art, the illustrations and how those look, and my marketing plan and where I want to market and events that I go to. But with traditional publishing, a lot of that stuff is typically, or most of the time, decided for you. Like, you have people telling you what your cover art should be, or where you should market your book, or what engagements you need to be involved in. It works for some people. It just wasn't something that I felt was going to work for me. And that's the same with films. I wrote some screenplays, and I ended up independently producing a couple of the films that I wrote screenplays for, because I wanted creative control, okay? And that's really what it boils down to. If you self-publish or independently release books, you will end up having more creative control, okay? And that's just my opinion. That's based off of friends that I know that have gone the traditional route versus friends that I have that have self-published, like myself, okay? So, if you find that to be not true or not what you think or what you believe, then that's fine too. That's just my opinion, okay? So plan, outline, and another thing was, or that I learned that was very important, this is a proof copy, okay? I highly recommend that you get yourself a proof copy, okay? And you can see that I had my wife go through here and actually make some edits, and she found numerous things wrong, okay? And I say get a proof copy because you don't want to just release something that is just flooded with a whole bunch of grammar errors and punctuation issues. You don't want to release anything like that, right? Especially as a first-time author, you want to look as professional as possible. Okay, so get that proof copy. Let 5 people that are close to you read that. Let them be beta readers for you, okay? Because sometimes we get so attached to the things that we write and create that our mind doesn't even allow us to see the errors that are made. So do yourself a favor and get that proof copy, okay? And read it, let other people read it until your eyes get sick of reading it, okay? This will help you tremendously, okay? You don't want to release something that paints you as being a bad writer, okay? Especially if it's your first project, okay? You can even see, like, it even says proof on it, okay? Get that proof copy. Order that proof copy. You will be glad that you did. Let's just say that. Okay, so outline, get together a marketing plan, get your proof copy, and just understand, if you're going a self-publishing route, understand what that means, because that requires a lot from you. Okay, you are doing a lot of the legwork to get that book out there. Like I said earlier, I had to set up a meeting with a bookstore that I wanted the book to go in, and we had to talk about splits on sales. How much would the bookstore get versus how much would I get, and where my shelf space was going to be, and how I was supposed to handle getting more copies in the store once they sold out, because they did sell out. Because I actually, I want to say, for this being one of my first projects, I marketed this book pretty well. Okay, I didn't have news coverage like I did with my second children's book, but as far as going to events and getting the word around about this book, I believe I did pretty well. You know, I got it in doctors' offices, I got it in schools, and daycare centers and foster care agencies, adoption agencies. I did pretty good to push this book out there, and to this day, I'm still pretty proud of it. I had one of my college roommates at the time, Henry Muller. He did the illustrations for this, and they're different type of illustrations, and to this day, I love them, okay, because I feel like they fit the story well, especially if you like read what's going on in the story. They're just basic illustrations, but they just flow very well with what's going on, okay? And I just like the style of the illustrations for this particular book. Now, in my second children's book, the illustrations are completely different, okay? You also got to remember that I released this, I believe, in 2013, okay, years ago. And my second one, I think I released that one in 2020, if I remember correctly. So things were a little more advanced. You know, I found an illustrator that had been illustrating for years. His name is Chris Dudley, and he's amazing too. Check him out, Chris Dudley Art. Okay, he's very talented. Check his work out. Tell him Marcel sent you if you are an author that is writing children's books. He's definitely somebody that you're going to want to look into, okay? So you're going to want to put all your ducks in a line before you even think about releasing any type of book, whether that be a children's book, a novel, a chapter book, a novella, no matter what it is. Make sure you have some sort of plan, okay? And it doesn't have to be this elaborate, extensive plan. Just have a basic idea of what direction you want to go in once this project is complete. Okay. So I hope some of those tips were helpful. If you have any questions, hit the comment section below, and I'll try my best to answer any questions that you may have. And if you guys would like to hear me read this book, I was going to do that in this video, but I kind of chickened out on doing that. But if you want me to read the book, I will too. Just hit the comment section below, and I'll release another smaller video doing that. And if you want to know more about my second children's book that I released a few years back, let me know as well, and I'll try my best to answer any questions that you may have. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so that you are notified when I release videos. Okay, we're talking about everything writing on this channel. Okay, remember, I am somebody that wrote for a newspaper for about 8 years, entertainment magazines, released books, wrote screenplays that have been produced. So I have a wide range of experience in writing, and I just want to share those experiences with you and talk to you about some of the roadblocks that I hit so that you guys don't have to hit those same roadblocks in your journey of writing. All right, so keep visiting the channel, tell your friends about the channel, subscribe, hit that bell, and until next time, peace.